And thanks again for joining in on Living in the 21st Century. Joining me here today is Anna Tartufo, um, co-owner of Newton Restaurant in Newton Center. And also joining me is Olga
Lisovskaya.
Losovsky.
One of these days.
She is the executive director for the Commonwealth Laureate Theatre. Ladies, welcome to Living in the 21st Century.
Thank
I think
you.
we have lots of fun here today.
Thank you, Errol, for
discussing-
having us.
Thank
You're
you for all the
welcome.
wonderful things you do.
Thank you. Okay, so Olga, we have something extremely huge coming up here in a couple of days. This is like a clash of nations. You got USA, you got Cuba, you
It's
got
like the
Canada.
Olympics.
It's like the Olympics. It's a duel, actually.
It's a
Very good.
duel,
Musical
yes.
duel.
A musical duel between tenors and baritones, and yes, Errol, it does involve many different nations. In fact, 7 nations. There will be 9 artists, 3 tenors, 3 baritones, and 3 prima donnas, and 7 countries, including USA, Canada, Ukraine, Georgia, Australia, and Cuba, and Russia.
Russia. Yes. Okay. So what this duel is going to be all about?
Okay, so this is a project that is coming for the first time to the United States, and it is produced by Talents of the World, which is an international concert organization. And the president and founder of this organization is David Gvinianidze from Georgia, who is a recipient of the medal from the United Nations for promoting arts and culture. And his vision and mission is to promote vocal art, especially of classical singing, throughout the world. And he is the founder and author of this particular project that's been very successful in Europe for several years now. And it's time for the project to come here to the United States, and here we are, Saturday, June 24th, right here in our beautiful city of Newton, my city of Newton, where I live, in Newton Highlands Congregational Church at 3:30 p.m. We are looking forward to seeing all of you there. It will be a wonderful feast of opera, operetta, Broadway, Neapolitan song, and folk songs, and in a very fun and engaging way, tenors and baritones competing for the title of the best voice. And the audience members, you will be in the center of all action, and you are the ones who are going to be deciding the winner.
Oh, that's great. Really good. That's really good. So, Anna Monstroulis, I hope you got your name correctly.
Monserrat.
Monserrat, right, beautiful. Tell me something. Now, you're a Greek and you have an Italian restaurant. What made you really shift from the Greek cuisines and flavor into the Italian? What's so special about that?
I grew up with a lot of Italians.
Okay.
I've had an affinity and love for all types of food. And being in my neighborhood, I was probably the only Greek child there. And of many Italians, my friends, I grew up in their families as they grew up in my family. And my first job was actually at a variety store in Leominster, Massachusetts. And my boss was from Abruzzo, Italy. And he was a wonderful, wonderful man. And he had a wonderful family behind him. And he really, really influenced my life. And he doesn't probably know this. And to help people, to love people, and to serve people.
Excellent.
And be creative in doing it.
Excellent. And I recognize that you're also going to be serving some good music on your table because you're actually a co-sponsor in Talents of the World and this duel that we're talking about.
Yes, this is our connection, and I want to take this time and opportunity to thank Tartufo and Anna and Dante for getting involved and believing in us in Talents of the World, and for being one of our major sponsors. I would also like to thank Dr. Shulkin, who is another one of our major sponsors, who is not here, but who is here in spirit, from the Moody Street Dental. And so these two people are very generous. These two organizations have been very generous in promoting and sponsoring this beautiful event. And I think that that's how it should be. The community and the arts, they all should help each other, promote each other, and that's what makes it
Excellent.
beautiful.
What amazes me though, how did you go about selecting these great artists from around the world to come under one umbrella and perform? Was it a hard task?
Well, Errol, Talents of the World is an organization that was founded in 2000, in the year
Okay.
2000. So the founder and President David Gvinianidze has been doing it for 17 years, and he has developed already a team of artists
Okay.
that he knows and hand-picked, hand-selected. So Talents of the World usually presents either world-class singers who've already had a great career or are in the middle of a great world international career, and in our duel you will see that type of artists. We have two artists from the Metropolitan Opera. Raul Melo sang with Pavarotti, he sang with Anna Netrebko, he sang with Placido Domingo at the Met, he sang all over the world. Adam Klein was featured in HD Met broadcast a few years ago, also from the Metropolitan Opera. Benjamin Sloman is our tenor from Australia, so he sings with Sydney Opera Theatre. And our baritones, Anton Belov from Russia, he's a winner of 8 competitions, first prize winner, including George London competition and Licea Albanese competition and Metropolitan Opera competition. Vasil Kolhidashvili is New York City Opera soloist. So these are all names and wonderful singers whom David Gvinianidze either knows personally from the previous projects, and we found a few new participants in the past few years, but we're always looking to open up our concerts to young and brilliant, very high promise singers. And among us, there is a prima donna, one of our prima donnas, Christine Petkus. She's from Canada with a stunning voice. So she and we will be battling as well, competing, but in a friendly, of course, although our trio is not so friendly.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, but what I don't understand, you're going to have women sing the sopranos, and there you're going to got some men with some very powerful, dominant voices. And I think that's what's going to capture all the attention. Where do the women stand, and how are they going to represent their country effectively in winning this thing?
Winning. So the duel is between tenors and baritones. Women are there just for decoration and for relief, from hearing all these powerful masculine sounds. So Christine is from Canada, and I'm from Ukraine, and our third prima donna is our pianist, Yelena Beryeva from Georgia originally, and she was a child prodigy who played concerto with orchestra, piano concerto with orchestra when she was 5 years old. I cannot imagine how that's possible. I mean, I have 2 children myself, and at 5, that's unimaginable.
You have so many different combinations, like we do with food.
Okay.
You can do with music and different types of voices.
Yes, exactly.
Makes it very interesting.
Music and food, they're definitely 2 big arts.
Okay.
And
They're
they go
very
together
close
very
together.
well.
Well, I can understand why restaurants play music when you're eating.
We all play music when you're eating.
Yes.
Well, I'll let you on a little
Sure.
secret. So after the concert in Newton, we are all going to Tartufo restaurant, all the artists, all 9 of us. And of
Nice.
course we'll be eating and enjoying ourselves. And I think we might have a few surprises for the
All the
people
diners.
there.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we might sing a song or 2, Neapolitan song and Italian repertoire. So come and join us.
We love that. We had an a cappella group there who was actually a guest of one of our customers, and he does this every year. And when they're done, they go through the restaurant, they sing a few tunes, and the customers are just, it's a little frosting on the cake.
Of course.
They
Well,
love it.
Live music is always something
That's nice.
special.
So, so we can actually say this is an official international form of competition. Where do
Good,
you-
good. Yes, Errol, good thinking.
Okay. Where do USA stands in this, and do they have a chance?
Where do who stands in this?
USA.
Oh, USA? Oh, well, you are very cool, Errol. I love this. So yes, let's bring it up a notch a little bit. So this
Okay.
is Olympics of
Right.
vocal art,
I love this. thing.
and USA is very, very well represented.
Beautiful.
Adam Klein from the United States and the soloist with the Metropolitan Opera will be representing the United States, and he's a tenor.
Okay.
And I've known Adam already for 5 years,
Okay.
and he is a very versatile singer, beautiful voice, beautiful tenor voice, and of course he's a wonderful musician. And on top of it, he's great with languages. He can sing in almost any language, and you will think that he's a native. He sings in Russian, he sings in Ukrainian, of course Italian, German, French, and he takes it very seriously.
Okay. Very versatile.
So if there is a prize for the best diction and pronunciation, there is no competition there. You know, Adam Klein will take that
Well,
prize.
Excellent. Well, that really sounds good. The beautiful thing about it is that we are going to be capturing that moment, and I'm sure that all the Newton residents at some point in the nearest future will be able to actually see this great performance, and that's a privilege that I'm also a part of that. And UTV would be indirectly be the ones who will be capturing those moments. So I believe it should be all nice and good. At this point, we are running up on the 15-minute halfway break, and we know that there is a clip you would like to be aired, and we're going to ask studios to just roll that footage and just give a glimpse of what the people are expected to see. It's like these that also make my organization so proud to be the Socioeconomic Development Foundation of Boston, to be so strong in embracing the performing arts. It's so inspirational when you sit back and recognize that we are involved in a world with so much different type of music, but it's always a breath of fresh air to listen to the opera or classical music. It puts you in a place of relaxation, and that's why I'm good. That's why I'm happy that I can share these moments with you. And you know, Talent of the World and the Commonwealth Laureate Theatre. I mean, we have been do several interviews here for quite a bit, and it's always a pleasure. Whenever you bring something, it's always something unique. And not only is it unique, but it also provides economic growth for the cities in which these performances are held. It also builds strong cultural diversity. And this is what the performing arts does. Now tell me, where do you go from here? After bringing Talent of the World to international level in terms of competing at this level, what is your plans into next year?
Thank you, Errol, for asking this. We have big plans. Well, Commonwealth Lyric Theatre has some very interesting things coming up, but they're still secret, so I
Okay.
cannot reveal that yet
Okay.
because it's a it's a secret. Talents of the World's next stop is Carnegie Hall, and we're in the talks now with the Carnegie Hall of coming there to bring one of our best projects. And Mechanics Hall is always going to be one of our favorite places to perform in, because if anybody knows about Mechanics Hall, that it's one of the most beautiful concert halls in the world, and it's right here in Worcester, so it's only 40 or 30 to 40 minutes from Newton. And Rachmaninoff played there, Caruso sang there, Stravinsky performed there. Yo-Yo Ma, the famous cellist, chooses Mechanics Hall to record his CDs there because he says it's one of the best concert halls acoustically in the world. And this hall is celebrating 160th anniversary this year and was built in 1857. And the interesting thing about this hall is that during that time, a lot of labor was European labor and European imported architecture and materials and to create grand spaces. Well, Mechanics Hall is all American made, like the labor American, the design, the architecture, everything is American, so it's piece of history.
It's wonderful for things such as your events to keep a beautiful building like that going for the future generations to enjoy, as the past generations have enjoyed. And what you're doing is wonderful, bringing these events and giving new life into these beautiful buildings that were built by the Americans and all the laborers and the hard work. And like Errol said, all the cultures
Yes.
get to enjoy and love what we're doing and what we're supporting. And what the goal is so we all get to enrich our lives in
Yes.
many diverse ways.
Beautiful.
Yes, and in the age of YouTube and internet, where people can just watch stars on in their living room, the concert space is actually a completely different experience. You don't realize it until you actually go to live opera and listen to these wonderful singers live without any amplification, no microphones. It's live sound. I mean, you heard a little excerpt when these three tenors sing together, or each one individually. It is experience that you can only have while sitting live there in the concert. And the same thing with food. People should come and enjoy the food together. So
It becomes an emotional basis. Hearing music is emotional. We
Yes.
laugh, we cry, we can associate songs to all different things, operas, and the tenors, growing up with them and hearing Pavarotti and all the three of them, is just amazing.
It's beautiful, and I want to ask you this question because Tartufo Restaurant really play an integral role in HealthCo sponsoring this. And I think when you get sponsors in these events, that they should get some form of visual gratitude in some extent. Would you be prepared to use extracts of this concert maybe in your restaurant at some point to entertain some of your clients, because some of your customers, because I think doing that can richly enjoy the repetitive services that may come eventually. I think it's good. I think you can be able to build on it. This is something that comes along once in a lifetime, and I believe that since Olga and the president of Talent of the World, David, right, went this far to put on something to this level, that even the extracts, when it's all said and done and settled, it should not just stay there. This momentum should go into next year, even before we start to launch the next whatever project you have. I think that's a good
Errol,
idea.
you're a visionary. You always
Yeah.
think ahead, and
Right.
when we were talking with Anna, before the
Yes.
interview, she said something that was very interesting. That any business and a restaurant business, they have to constantly be changing.
You have to reinvent yourself.
And reinvent yourself, something new, and I think yes, our partnership will enrich both, Talents of the World and Tartufo, and hopefully we can think of some interesting events
And
together.
I think we both can reach out to the
Yes.
people of Newton.
Of course.
You doing it with the talents, and us doing with the talents of our chefs, and with the creativity of our kitchen. And bringing these things together is wonderful, because I have such a beautiful and diverse customer group who love a lot of these things, who go to a lot of these events, who support a lot of these events. And from our hearts, we want to support them and to see them grow and to continue.
Of course.
Because it just doesn't stop with this generation. We got to continue these things for the young children who probably weren't exposed to so much of this as we were growing up, because of the YouTubes and the other things
Yes.
that they can do on their own. And same thing, getting back, people like to watch the YouTube, like you said, but it's the same experience as you can cook at home, you can come to the restaurant, and you get that same artistic thing
Exactly.
going there.
Yes, I think it's a beautiful way of richly educating your customers to new way of music. Most younger generation today don't really dig in deep enough to this kind of art form, and it's beautiful. It's music to the soul, and I think you can do a lot in taking the performing arts to a whole new level. And thank you for the resuscitation of it, because it's good. The pop culture, everything just up there, and once in a while you hear a little opera, and
Well, this all has more than 15 minutes of fame.
right. So this is big. This is really
It's
huge,
big.
and I'm glad that you allowed our show to be a part of it, and so forth. But we are in the final 5 minutes. What would you want to say first, Olga, in reaching out to people out there in the community concerning this level of music? What could be in store for them if they get involved, and how they can probably promote themselves in terms of hooking up to a professional like yourself in promoting this kind of art form?
Errol, thank you for asking this question once again. You always ask the most pertinent
Yes.
questions. The community of Newton has really stepped up and helped us a lot. From the sponsors to New TV. Thank you very much for promoting this and for creating a documentary and recording this professionally. Both performances will be recorded.
Yes.
Some of the community members stepped up to host our international stars.
Okay.
So there is an air of excitement in the whole city of Newton, and I'm just enjoying this so much. As
Excellent.
I walk down the street and I see people and they're asking me, so when is this happening? I'm definitely coming, and it is really becoming the focus of this week.
Excellent.
And the Newton Tab published about us, and Boston Globe, and Boston Musical Intelligencer, and we're very grateful to all of these various groups who are coming together and creating this event, and it's surely going to be a success.
Beautiful. And Anna, what would be your last final thoughts in terms of not only supporting the musical arts, but also the culinary arts in your field? We all in the arts.
We are all in arts. It's different arts, but it's all arts. It's
Yes.
to be artistic is to cook and to create. Same thing with music. And they all tell a different story, and they're all enjoyed at different levels, but they should be enjoyed. And too many things in life. We're living in a fast world. We need to slow down and eat a good meal and listen to some good music. And if we can do this together and support these causes, Tartufo's blessed and honored to do something like this for Olga and for you in socioeconomic development of our area.
Sure. Can we look forward to seeing in the future some culinary art duel to this level?
That would be great. I would
And
like to
even
see a
have-
chef's duel.
You can have also
Yes.
integration. with
Even
the-
singing chefs.
Yes,
Singing
We'll
chefs.
have to. Does Dante sing?
He does a little of, well, he's very vocal. Let's
He's
put it this way.
It will help
He's
the
Italian. He's Italian.
He's Italian.
It will help the food to digest even more, much better. Actually.
This is true. This is true. We have fun with what we do, and
Yes.
it's a pleasure to support Olga and the
Okay.
cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I want to say thanks once again to Anna Monsteris,
You're welcome.
co-owner of Tartufo Restaurant in Newton Center, and also Olga Lisowska, Executive Director of Commonwealth Lyric Theater. And to all those who are out there who have tuned into this show, I want to say thank you very much. Please come out and see art at its best. Music Jewel, which will be at Newton Congregational Church in Highlands, and also the Mechanics Hall in Worcester. Thank you and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Imagine a time when no one person has brain disease. Imagine a time when no one person has Parkinson's disease. Or no one person has MS. No one person is debilitated by a stroke. And no family suffers the tragedy of Alzheimer's. Some of the best minds in America are doing more than imagining. The American Brain Foundation is seeking to find cures, where life without brain disease isn't just something we can imagine, it's something we can know. Help us get there.